Last week, Turn 10 Studios was kind enough to send me a full version of Forza Horizon, as you might have seen in my unboxing video. And today, less than 10 days from its USA release date, I'm going to give you my thoughts on the final product. Now, ever since the public at large got a general idea of what Forza Horizon was going to be, the term arcade racer got thrown around a lot. For those of you who are not well versed in racing gamer lingo, arcade racer has a negative connotation and usually refers to a game that is unrealistic, has floaty physics, and over-the-top cheesy presentation. Wanting to avoid that label, Turn 10 referred to Horizon as an action racer. So what is an action racer? Well, if you go by what Horizon is, an action racer is taking that same over-the-top presentation, making it less cheesy, and injecting a sim-style physics engine. They then took that concept and put it into an open-world environment based on the Colorado countryside. Did it work out for them? Well, I'm going to break down the game into its many parts and then give you my take on that. I'm going to start off where most of you are likely to start, and that's with the single-player campaign. Now, normally you don't hear the word campaign when it comes to a racing game, but in Forza Horizon there is something of a story. It's a simple story, but a story nonetheless. You play as an unnamed young guy who travels to the Forza Horizon Festival, an event that takes over rural Colorado with a massive music fest and a lot of racing. During your time at the festival, you'll be directed to participate in many different types of events in different areas on the map, and you are free to drive to those events as you see fit. When you race and win in events, you earn money and experience, which will allow you to buy better cars and advance to bigger, better events. In following with the festival theme, events are limited to certain wristband colors. You start off with a yellow wristband, and once you pass all the yellow wristband events, you earn a green wristband, unlock more events, and so on. This continues until you earn the coveted gold wristband, which will have you taking on the self-proclaimed King of Horizon, Darius Flint. The single-player festival events range from point-to-point races to close-course sprint races, and then there are showcase events. Showcase events are outrageous spectacles like the infamous Mustang vs. Mustang, in which the player races a classic Mustang Boss 302 versus a P-51 Mustang airplane. Winning showcase events earns you new cars for your garage. Finally, there's good old-fashioned street racing. While free roaming around the Colorado landscape, if you happen to come up to another festival participant designated by their name above the car, you can just hit X to challenge them to a street race. It's a good way to have some random fun and earn more cash and experience for winning. Also, in Horizon, players can upgrade all the same areas of the cars that they could have in the previous games. The only difference is that in Forza Motorsport, the upgrades were tunable, and they're not in Forza Horizon. This means that if you buy a race suspension in Horizon, you can't adjust the ride height or dampening or any of that other stuff. When news of this first got out in my Q&A with Dan Greenwald at Turn 10, many Forza purists got really upset. To them, tuning is the heart of Forza Motorsport, and they're right. However, this is not Forza Motorsport, this is Forza Horizon. In this type of atmosphere, such subtle, incremental tuning is not necessary for just street racing and hooning around a fictional Colorado desert. Players can still make their cars lighter, faster, and handle better, but now it's just done in a more direct, no muss, no fuss way. After playing the game for longer than 10 minutes, you won't really miss tuning at all, to be honest. The popular Forza painting system is still here, but for Horizon it has received some much desired expansions. The biggest news about the paint system is that there are now matte finishes available for just about any color you can think of. So all those dreams that you've had of having a completely murdered out car in Forza can finally come true. On the vinyl side, the system is also the same, but they've added more community shapes and more fonts. It should also be noted that if you created vinyl groups in Forza Motorsport 4, you can import them into Horizon. That way you can possibly recreate some of your best work from before. Also, like in previous games, there will be a storefront, so players can shop for the best liveries created by their favorite Forza painters. In Horizon, you can still obviously buy cars just like in the other games, but the showroom is now an auto show. At the auto show, you can browse all the makes and models available and make a purchase. There's not as many cars available out of the box as in Forza Motorsport, but they've done a good job of creating a list of the most fun cars from all the different OEMs and gave them a home in Horizon. Also, Turn 10 Studios is promising monthly DLC, so even if there's a car that you want that's not in the game right away, it's not to say that it might not show up later in a DLC pack. Multiplayer is a pretty big deal for a lot of you listening to this, so I'll try to give you my best account of the multiplayer experience. In Forza Horizon, you can have lobbies of up to 8 players, and the person in charge of the lobby can set up races or events like Cat and Mouse and Infection. Additionally, a multiplayer lobby group can free roam around Colorado, and the lobby leader can set up co-op challenges on the fly. For example, having everyone in the lobby drive through a speed trap within 10 seconds of each other while obtaining a certain mile/hour average, or a road trip from one point to another. The co-op activities are plentiful and pretty fun provided that everyone is on the same page. Although I have to admit, one thing that did throw me off on multiplayer was that during some races the game got very glitchy. I wasn't able to capture it on video, but there are instances where the animation got very jumpy and the collision detection was really inaccurate. Since there's still time before the game is released, I'm thinking that they'll likely release a patch or make tweaks to the server to prevent this from happening on launch day. If you are big on multiplayer and have not pre-ordered the game yet, you might want to hold off a bit and see if anyone else experiences glitches after the game's released. I should also note that the glitchiness did not endure for the entire multiplayer experience, just at first. Once it did stop, multiplayer was really fun. After all is said and done, Forza Horizon is a fun game that makes some improvements on the open world driving game genre. It is beyond an arcade racer, but at the same time it's not quite a simulator either. Perhaps that's Turn 10 Studios and Playground's game's biggest accomplishment, that they seem to have defined a new niche on their own and made it work. I do not expect Horizon to win over all of the hardcore sim fans, but I do know it'll win over some of them, and that's still a pretty big victory. And even if you are looking to just have a ton of fun with great cars and a beautiful backdrop, then Forza Horizon is definitely your game. I would give Forza Horizon a 9 out of 10.